Hello, everyone, and welcome to Not at the Museum Thursday nights. Thank you for attending tonight. So as usual, we're going to begin our evening with our land acknowledgement. The Niagara region of Ontario is located on the shared territory of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Chinootan people. The Chinootan people have called this land their home for thousands of years, and more recently, the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee have been sharing this land as one dish, one spoon treaty territory. So as you know, over the past several years, we have been bringing you coming out stories with Falynn, and now it's evolved into living out stories. As always, these are evenings designed for the LGBTQ plus community and straight community alike. Each night, we welcome different guests with different backgrounds, and they share their stories with us. I'm thrilled that the museum has been an ally and a safe space for people to facilitate and have their stories heard in the Niagara region. So again, thank you for joining us. This program, as you know, offers an open dialogue about gender and sexuality. So please note that there are going to be references to sexuality during this conversation, and it's going to have a sexual nature. This evening, we usually have our Q&A open, but we're not going to have that tonight. So just know that our Q&A is closed. So I will hand this over now to Falynn, who is going to be leading tonight's talk. Falynn, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. All right, welcome everybody to the first edition of Living Out Stories. This has been something I've been thinking about doing for the last couple of years with coming out stories. And thankfully, with the help of the museum, I'm able to do this for my 5th season. I am very excited to introduce you to someone who I have a lot of respect for. Her name is Afisa Nagawa. She was born and raised in Uganda. She currently lives in Toronto, and she works as a front desk associate, and she encourages others to live courageously without fear and shame. I think that that's a beautiful thing to say, and we're going to hear how you've done that. I would like to introduce everybody to Afisa. Hello, Afisa.
Hi, Falynn. How are you?
Thank you for joining us on Living Out Stories.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. I just wanted to first off say that we were going to have a couple more people today on the show, but you know, things happen and they were unable to make it. And I really want to thank Afisa for coming, even though the other people weren't going to be here. She really made my day by making sure she was going to be here today, because this has been an important episode for me. I've been working a lot on this the last couple of months. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. And like I said.
Yes. So I want to give a little bit of information. So with the Niagara Folk Arts Center, I was able to enjoy a night with some of the newcomers and some of the refugee claimants telling their story. And you were one of those people. And honestly, I still remember the story. And that was one of the big reasons I wanted to have you on the show, because I believe that your story can help others, and it could shine some light on a subject that most people don't even know anything about. So let's start off by introducing you a little bit to people. Could you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and we'll start off there.
So like you already introduced me. So my name is Afisa Nagawa. I was born and raised in Uganda, and I currently live in Toronto, Ontario. I work as a front desk associate, and one thing that I'm passionate about is to inspire other people and empower them, because I believe I've been empowered. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, well, can you tell us when it is that you first made your way to Canada, to Toronto specifically?
Oh, that was in 2014.
2014.
Yes.
All right. So when you decided that like this is where you were going to come, did it take a long time to make that journey happen, or did you pretty much decide and then made sure that it happened?
It didn't just happen right away. It's a process. I had to get the funds because I needed money
Yeah.
for my ticket. I also needed to apply for a visa, which I applied several times and I didn't get it.
Oh, so this is something you had to keep reapplying for.
Yes, and then when I got it, I had to come right away, and
Yes.
I thank God that I held on and I didn't give up.
I'm so thankful that you didn't give up. I've heard that people can try for 5, 6, 7 years, and then as soon as it starts, you got to go, and you don't get much time to really process.
Yeah.
So when you first got here, I'm going to look at a couple of questions that I did share with you previous to coming. So when you first arrived, like, what did it feel like? Did you feel like this was going to be a place that was going to be a lot safer? Did you feel welcome at first?
I felt safe. Yes, it's the moment I got on the plane, when I got my visa, because of the stress I was going through and the persecution. I knew that wherever I ended up, it's like running from pain, and then finally you get to a place where your wounds can be dressed. So I felt safe.
So the healing was able to begin.
Yes.
So at first, did you say when you weren't sure where you're going, was Toronto, was Canada, was that the first place that you kind of thought you would want to end up?
Honestly, at first I didn't know where I wanted to end up. I just had to come out of the pain I was going through. I could have ended up anywhere, but I didn't know nothing about Canada. I think I tried to apply to Australia because I knew it's a free country, and I didn't get it. And then I tried here and I got it, and I thank God that I ended up here.
Yeah, it's a good country, and
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of people in Toronto and in Niagara that are doing work for refugee claimants and just trying to make it that transition peaceful compared to what you've been through.
Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that.
I think it's so important, like for me, now that I'm even more connected with some of these groups, like I just didn't realize the need. I didn't realize the amount of people that are trying to seek refuge, especially in the 2S LGBTQ plus community. And being a woman, I mean, like, let's be honest, being a woman is not easy as it is. And I'm sure being a woman in Uganda is so very different compared to what it's like being a man there.
Being a woman in Uganda, I didn't understand that.
Being a woman in Uganda is very tough, I'm assuming, and compared to what it would like to be a man in Uganda. From what I was reading, the men just seem to have a lot more rights.
That is true, not just for Uganda, according to my knowledge. In most of Africa.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how it was set up, but you just grow up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you just less than the men, so it kind of stays at the back of your mind. You don't even realize it until you get here and you see how different you're treated, and it's totally different. Yeah.
But it's a huge culture shock.
It's a beautiful thing to be honored and respected. I thank God that I got to see a different part of life.
Yeah, in your lifetime, right? You get to see beauty and be respected.
Yes.
So what like when you first came here, what were you expecting? Did you have any expectations? What surprised you about being here?
What surprised me in terms of what?
Culture, in the 2S LGBTQ plus community, just in comparison to life, what would you say stuck out about Canada when you were first here?
So what stood out for me is the way I was accepted for the way I am. Because like, for example, when I was growing up, I don't know if you know what a tomboy is, a girl that, yeah. So I was rejected. I was called a lot of names. And when I got here, I remember I went to 519.
Yeah.
And the way I was loved and treated nice overwhelmed me. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know the nice people out there that can accept me the way I am and not judge me. I was
just the little things mean so much.
Yeah. And the way people were friendly, not judging me. That was, it still stuck in my mind. And right now I try to do the same thing for other people, because it impacted me a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of wanted to let people know, like the surprise of that, because some people take that for granted. They take the fact that they're accepted and that they can walk down the street for granted. And it's nice to hear that you experienced an overwhelming feeling like that. I'm really happy about that. When you first got here, did you find that it was somewhat easy to navigate your way to a group of 2S LGBTQ plus? Like, did it take a while to find a community?
It took me a while to find the LGBT community, because I think I came in a very cold season.
Yeah, winter, everybody's hiding.
So I didn't know how to get around, and I didn't have relatives, I didn't have friends until because I came as a student, until my school started. That's where I saw the posters, and I'm like, oh, so that's how I realized their support groups. So it kind of took me like a few months, but even then I was scared, because I had never been in such groups, because in my country we don't have LGBT groups. So I used to go and look at the door and try to see what is happening, until one time my friend told me that she was going to the groups, and she welcomed me, and I went there, and I never stopped going from that time. Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a shy person normally?
It depends on the situation.
So coming here, though, that's pretty big for you to, even just go and look at those doors. So I'm glad that you finally made it in.
Yeah, because that's the way my friend encouraged me to go. And
you need friends to do that sometimes.
Yeah,
Kind of talking about what you were just getting into. So I've done some research in the last month, just extra research on Uganda and their LGBTQ plus rights. And let's just be honest, there are none. There it is. I mean, it gave me chills. It made the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I read about just some of the persecutions that are experienced by the queer people in that country and all over Africa. I mean, it's not just in Uganda, but is there anything that you would speak on about that? Any experience that you could share or something about the rights that you think people should know?
The only thing that comes to my mind when you talk about that is how sad it makes me that fellow human beings can choose to treat other human beings with so much hate without getting to understand them. And because I've seen with my own eyes the way my family treats me.
Yeah.
Like right now, they don't talk to me because I'm no longer part of the family, and it hurts. And the way I've been called names, that I'm possessed by a demon, that I'm maybe crazy, or it's overwhelming. And I've also seen in the news, and I thank God that I was able to open up to my family when I'm here, because if I had opened up to my family when I was there, I don't know how it would have ended up, because people literally get killed because it's a curse. I don't know if you know about the African culture. If they see something that they don't want to go on in the family, the person carrying that, you could even be sick of a disease, you will be killed, because they believe it's gonna end that in the family. So you can't even talk about it. You can't even speak up. You just can't stand in front of your parents face to face and tell them. But I got the courage to tell my family because I felt safe here. And I know I've been disowned, but I know that I have family here, and at least I'm not hiding anymore. So.
Well, and you're, like you said, when you came here in 2014, I'm assuming you took some time and then eventually told your family, or did they know before you left, do you think?
When I left, they told me that I used to behave. I think they kind of suspected something different about me, and because my family wanted me to get married, and I'm like, I don't want to get married, and so they were trying to force me to get married, and that's how I couldn't stay there anymore.
No.
And I had to find a way of living. So when I got here, my parents told me that I have to go back and still get married because I'm the firstborn, and the firstborn has to do certain things before the people following can do them. So I couldn't go back to get married. I had to tell them the reason why I can't go back, and that's how I opened up to them and told them. And from that time, I lost, uh, I lost, I lost my siblings, my family. I got a lot of threats, but I just couldn't do it. I had found a reason to at least speak up for myself. Yeah.
That's hard to hear. You know, I'm guessing maybe religion played a part. There must have been, was there any type of religion that your family was practicing as well?
Yes. So I come from a religious family, from a Muslim family.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know about Muslim religion.
I've done some research on that.
So the Muslim religion is very strict about homosexuality
And women.
and women, and a lot of different aspects in life. So in Islam, if you do certain things, you have to be put to death. Literally, it's a law. If you're homosexual, you have to be killed. If, for example, you live the Muslim religion, it's a law, you have to be killed. So so the religious part played a big, it's because my family is Muslim, but so being compelled with culture plus strong religion, it makes it even worse. So I was here. By the time when I opened up to my family, I was still Muslim, and I felt so much pain, and I was lost. It's not that I don't have support here, but I was I was lonely, I confused, and because it's, let's be honest, everyone needs family. So I ended up going to church, and I became Christian. So right now I am Christian, and that even makes it worse for me because my family found out that I left the Muslim religion.
And that's a big thing. You don't do that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow. So you're fighting two fronts there, the culture and the religion. And you know, I mean, I grew up in a religious family, and as I got older, I found out that certain churches, certain Christianity wasn't against the homosexuality, you know, United Churches and different churches that were around. And it's hard because if you're raised with religion, there's a peace in your heart that when you lose that religion, even though it wasn't great, it leaves a void. So I'm sure that's what happened, and you wanted to find some. So now that you're with a Christian church, are you finding that it's filling that void of the religion that you were raised with?
So now that I'm Christian, I see how I was misled in thinking that God made a mistake to create me the way I am. God didn't make a mistake to make me a lesbian, to make me who I am. I am perfect the way I am, and religion is, I was lied to, and those things, some of those things, because the things we learn from religion, it gets attached so deep that it's hard to let go. I can see how I was lied to, but because now I'm Christian, and I don't know if someone here is Christian, but it's, there is more love that I found in being a Christian than when I was Muslim.
There's definitely a lot more equality with men and women too, which makes things a lot different. So I'm just glad that you were able to find something that worked for you and showed you the love, because you are absolutely not a mistake, just like I'm not a mistake, and others like us. I'm just glad that you're like here telling your story, because I've never heard a story like this. And for me to be able to help facilitate it and share that, it means a lot to me. So thank you. I can't believe though, to live in a country like Africa where, you know, women are persecuted just for being women, but then for them to think possibly you don't want to get married, or that you don't, because I mean, I'm sure they get suspicious if you don't want to get married, because that's your role. You're supposed to get married. So it's a lot that you had to put up with to hide yourself and to stay in that closet. So now that you are out of the closet, even though it's got to be really hard, the family, like being disowned by your own family is heartbreaking, but we tend to find a chosen family eventually. We find people in our lives that become the family that we always needed. Have you found people like that here?
So I have friends here, and I'm part of the LGBT community. They're so loving, like I said.
Good. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, one of the most loving people, and even the way I got to become a Christian, I met someone at MCC Toronto. I don't know if you know about that.
Is
And
that a really big place?
the Metropolitan Church in Toronto.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
And one of the facilitators of the program was so kind to me. And I'm like, every time I needed help because I was confused and lost and in pain. And then this person became my friend. And then I found out this person is Christian. I'm like, why are they loving so much?
You'd
I
heard
wanna
lies
be
about Christians.
them.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have friends, people that I met at the LGBT community, and some friends,
Group.
yeah, and some friends that I met at work, and from college and school. So
I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you went to school when you came here. I think that's amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you for doing that, because I'm sure you had a lot on your mind, a lot that you had gone through. So I'm really proud of you for that.
Thank you. I went to school. I wasn't able though to complete, but I studied for 1 year, and hopefully I will be able to go and finish sometime. I'm hopeful I will. Yeah.
I think that you sound like you have faith in yourself.
Yeah.
So I believe that you will do the things that you want to do. I have a question. If there's other people that are watching that maybe are in a situation similar to what you were in, I mean, I don't know how far the reach goes for this, but even some people know of other people in their family that are looking to get away. How would you, like, what information would you be able to give to somebody else that maybe is in a similar situation that you were in? Like, it's a hard, there's no easy way around it. If you want to try to leave your country, it's not going to be easy, right?
So what I would tell to those people is to, first of all, no matter how much you're forced to open up when you were there in front of the people that you don't trust, you don't do it there because you could get harmed.
Yeah.
And you can lose your life, because if I had told my family when they are seeing me face to face, if I can feel the hate from a distance, how about there? So the first thing, you have to be in a safe place in order to come out and tell. And then the other thing, you have to find the courage and try. It's not easy to come abroad, but you can come, you can try, and you can even get a sponsorship and come, and you will find support when you come here.
Just don't give up, right? You just got to get there.
Yeah.
We were talking before the show, and you were talking a bit about how your mind has opened up so much and how that's been so important, like a key factor to you being able to adapt and meet family and friends. So that's definitely something, right? Like keeping an open mind is something that you'd have to do if you're trying to travel abroad.
Yes, yes. Like I told you before, having an open mind has helped me to adjust this, like, to the new environment, because I wasn't born here. It helps me. I remember even one time I told Simon how I love winter, I love snow.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
So having an open mind helped me to overcome racism. Um, Having an open mind has helped me to meet new friends, how to love those and forgive those that hurt me. It has helped me a lot. It even helped me to find peace with myself. So it's helpful.
That is a priceless thing, to find peace.
Yeah, thank you.
How long would you say before you were here that you started to feel kind of at home? Like this is your new home. Did it take a while to get there?
Like I said, because of what I was going through and what I was running away from, I I have never been with a man, and I was being forced to get married to a man.
It's terrifying.
I had to get out of that situation, and my family was putting their eyes on me. They knew that if they don't do this, they could lose me to being a demon that is possessing me to be different and all that. So the moment I got away from that, anywhere I would have ended up is home for me. I had that in the back of my mind. So for me, I knew that wherever I ended up, I don't know why I ended up in Canada, but any place where I'm not being tortured and being watched closely to see what is wrong with me, being judged is home for me. So it didn't take me long to know that this is my home.
And if your heart feels safe and if you feel safe, then it's easier to be at home. I just want to, one thing, you say that you were watched a lot. Now, what happens in Uganda? Is it because you were the oldest and you had to fulfill duties, so they always kept an eye on you?
So my parents, they're traditional, I don't know how do I say that, like typical African parents, like I said, the way I used to dress.
Yeah.
I used to dress in baggy pants, big shirts, and then I have a little sister who is, I don't know how, like, dressed
Was
like
very
doll.
girly.
Yes, so
Yeah.
that made it easy for everyone, even relatives, to point fingers at me. Why do you walk like that? Why do you do that? So everything that I did stood out. So I had to, like, my mom would take me and tell me that you have to buy this dress and put it on. And the way I felt was horrible. You have to wear these kinds of shoes. You have to sit. So everything I did was being watched. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
And it was against what you wanted. So that must have been so uncomfortable.
It's and I you can't talk about it when your parent,
Oh.
when an African parent tells you something, even here, you have to do it. And I was being asked questions. Do you have a boyfriend? why aren't all your friends girls? So like my life was everyone's business. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot to handle, especially with everything else that was going on.
yeah.
Oh, I honestly, your story is, I'm from Canada. I had a very different life growing up, but I was a tomboy. I'm a fully grown lesbian now, but I was a tomboy. And I had sisters that were very girly. I'm the oldest of 6. And we went to church, and we were in a type of church that wasn't okay with homosexuality. So a lot of people would notice that about me as well. And because it wasn't something you were crucified for here, I was able to get away with it and just say, this is how I feel comfortable. But I couldn't imagine if I was in a country like Uganda and I'm having people, asking me all the time why I'm dressing more like a boy. Like it would have really stood out.
It really affects your self-esteem. Like I remember one of the questions he asked me if I am shy. It depends on the situation. Like
Mhm.
I used to be, when I think about it right now, I used to be very shy, and one of the reasons it's because of how I was treated when I was growing up.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I couldn't talk about what was happening to me. I had to hide a lot of emotions. And even when I came here, I didn't know how to talk to people because of how my life got affected negatively. I was criticized a lot. So even now, like it depends whether I'm going to be shy or not. It depends on if something is triggered that
Yes. Yes.
that happened in the past. Yeah.
That's something I want to ask you about, the mental health side of things. So when you did come here, was anything offered to you at all about maybe talking to a therapist? Like, was that anything that you were able to do?
Having a therapist, yes,
So you were able to talk about some of the things you went through?
yes,
Good.
yes.
Did you find that that was, something really like different, that you weren't ever allowed to speak about what you went through? So did that help?
It helped me a lot. I remember I had sessions with my therapist at women's health in women's hands in Toronto. I don't know if you know about that. And she used to give me some artwork and cards, and so I love art. So it helped
Art
me.
is a great way to express.
Yeah, it helped me to bring out a lot of emotions inside, and to talk about um my life, my past life, and release the pain that I was holding on to, because I didn't even realize that I was I was I was there was so much pain that I had covered up and I didn't know it. So it helped me a lot.
You were carrying it around all the time without even knowing it.
Yes.
Did art help in the way you express what you were going through that the way words couldn't? Because I'm sure that there's language barriers.
Yes, it helped a lot. And
Really
I
happy that mental health was available for you.
thank you. And I think it also helped me realize why when I was in high school, one of the subjects I chose was art, because I didn't know that time it was a way for me to express myself. Yeah.
Well, now you know. I mean, it's something that I like to do too, writing, singing. I don't know if you like music too, but music is an international medicine. I think we can all use it the same way.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you do in your free time now. Well, now that the snow is almost gone, is there certain things that you like to do here that you weren't able to do in Uganda?
I love to walk. I walk a lot.
Good, walking is amazing.
Yeah. So in my free time, I go to the parks. Um, even this weather, it's not so like it's not the time where most people want to go out. Me, I still go. I put on my jacket and go for a long walk. Yeah. So I like to walk.
Getting outside there, if you're in Toronto, and even like anywhere in the Niagara region, like there's just so much to do. There's so many beautiful things to look at, and it's very safe.
Yes. That's the first thing that I noticed. I remember thinking to myself, wow, this place is so safe. I walk, I don't have to keep checking what's behind me, because I was used to watching my back to see what's happening. I quickly realized I didn't have to keep watching my back or checking if something is gonna happen.
Yeah, people take that kind of stuff for granted too, because just to be able to walk down, like I don't know if in Uganda if you went out at dark or if you didn't go out very much at dark, but I know that even in Toronto, like I would go walking around at night and I felt safe. And I think feeling safe is a feeling that you can't put a price on.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you are building your own little community and that you have people that care about you, because nothing feels better in this world than to have, you know, safety and to have people looking out for you and caring for you.
Thank you.
Is there anything, we're coming up towards the end of this. What I want to say, is there anything that you specifically would like to say to anybody, not just about the traveling, just about your, your journey and what you've gone through?
One thing that I realized, everything that happens, it's trying to show you something.
I agree.
It's not a coincidence. For example, if you're going through pain, what is that pain trying to communicate? So when things happen to me, I know I will complain, I will feel the pain and feel sad, but then at the back of my mind, I'm asking myself, what is this trying to teach me? And I try to learn those lessons, because I know if I don't learn the lessons, then it's gonna keep happening. So I wanna tell everyone that when things happen to you, it's okay to feel the pain and to go through what is happening, but don't forget the lesson, because if you don't learn the lessons, then you're gonna go through the same cycle.
Keep going through it. I do believe that we can take a lesson from everything, whether it be traumatic or something amazing. There's always lessons there. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. Like I said, I'm so honored that I was able to speak with you for the first edition of Living Out Stories. We were able to talk a bit about your lived experiences as a lesbian and how I would say it's going good now, right? You're enjoying where you are. I wish you the best, and I want you to know that your story is going to help other people.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Afisa.
Afisa, just before you go, I wanted to share some comments people were making in the chat section, and these are specifically for you. So just letting you know that everyone is sending you lots of love, and that they're saying thank you for shedding light on this topic. Thank you for sharing your story. This is such an important story. Thank you so much, Afisa. Catherine said, it makes me so happy to know that you have found community here. You seem like an amazing person and everybody deserves to be loved. Lots more hearts.
Goosebumps.
And question said, Afisa, you're an inspiration and so happy to have been listening to your story. I just want you to know that you are loved here and so thankful for you, Falynn, for creating this safe space.
Thank you so much.
You are.
And we're going to stay friends, Afisa, okay? I hope you have an open mind to that. I will keep in touch.
I'm open-minded.
You have taught me some lessons and I appreciate them.
Thank you so much for encouraging me to come here to for the interview.
Keep having faith in yourself. I don't think you're done speaking. I think you have to tell your story more. But I'm glad that I was able to help share it. Thank you so much. And to everybody that is watching, thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of Living Out Stories. Thank you so much. Thank you to the museum for the platform. And thank you to Sylvia, who does a lot of this background work. And that's all I got.
You're welcome. And everyone remember the next Living Out Story is June the 2nd during Pride Week. So
yes,
please tune in.
We will have Mark Corsel. He is a beautiful man, someone I've known for a while. He's a nurse and he's got a lot to say. So look forward for that and stay tuned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.